It goes without saying that a social media presence is important for any business. These days, consumers expect to see your business on at least one of the major social media platforms. They're also more likely to refer your business because of social media. A 2018 We Are Social study reported that 71% of consumers that have had a good social media service experience with a brand are likely to recommend it to others. Now, while I'm sure you have some social media presence for your agency, you're likely frustrated with what often feels like publishing content into an abyss. Maybe your posts only get 1 to 2 likes. Maybe you're completely ignored. If done right, social media should be a powerful tool for developing your brand and increasing the number of prospects. In this video, we'll discuss the basics for your social media strategy. In particular, you'll answer the following questions. What are the major social media channels and which ones should my agency use? How often should I post on a different channel? Do certain types of content work better on specific channels? I won't spend too much time reviewing the main social media channels. Instead, I'll focus most of the discussion on which content performs better on, say, Facebook instead of LinkedIn. These distinctions will be key in helping you put together your social media strategy for your agency. While there are new social media channels popping up all the time, let's start with the 4 social media channels best for insurance agencies. Facebook is a must-have channel for most insurance agencies. Because Facebook is so well known and popular to use, you risk developing credibility issues from your prospects if you don't have a presence on the popular social network. As a best practice, we recommend posting daily. Even multiple posts a day is acceptable. This probably sounds like a lot of work, but you don't need to always post original content. Sometimes you can just reshare an interesting article or an inspiring photo. One trend to be mindful of is that your Facebook audience will be more engaged than audiences on other platforms. While engagement is certainly not a bad thing, it just means you should be prepared to communicate effectively with prospects online. This is an area where a lot of brands get in trouble. So we've put together a list of tips to help you respond to customers and prospects online. When you reply, use the person's first name. This humanizes the interaction and reminds people that you're talking with a real person. Show empathy. First, try to understand the issue before defending yourself or agency. A good communication tool is to use curiosity. For example, you might respond to a negative comment online by saying, "I'm sorry to hear you're having an issue. I'd be curious to know a little more about the problem and how we can help." And finally, kill people with kindness. You don't need to concede to the old adage of the customer is always right, but it's your responsibility to make the customer feel like you're on their side and trying to help. Once you have your regular content being published on Facebook, you can amplify your reach using Facebook ads, which we'll discuss in a later session. The next important social media channel for insurance agencies is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an extremely powerful tool for insurance agencies because it allows you to connect directly with other businesses and professionals. For this platform, it's best to post during the weekdays since it's a professional network. In terms of frequency, aim for 1 post a day. And don't be scared to reuse content you already shared on Facebook. Just remember, this channel is a bit more serious than Facebook, so reserve the zany or fun content for Facebook. One tip we have for harnessing the power of LinkedIn is to encourage other members of your staff to engage with your LinkedIn page. Make sure everyone at your agency has a profile, then ask them to list your agency as their current employer. Secondly, encourage your staff, especially your own agents, to share posts from the agency's business page with their own network. You can position this favor as a valuable resource for your agents. By resharing your agency's posts, your agents are building up their own credibility amongst their networks, and for you, it allows you to expand your agency's reach to a larger audience. The third most important social media channel for insurance agencies is Twitter. Twitter is the easiest place to get discovered by people you don't know. And to be completely honest, using Twitter requires a lot of time. There's a lot of content on Twitter, so in terms of frequency, you should be posting about 5 times a day so your posts aren't overlooked. Don't feel it necessary to post exclusively about insurance. Your goal is to provide value for people that follow you. These are your prospects and customers. Ask yourself, what interests them? What would they want to learn about? If you write a lot of insurance with restaurants, try sharing an interesting article about effective menu design or pricing strategies. In addition to giving people a break from insurance, This will also help make you look like an influencer or thought leader in the industry. In terms of best practices, one of the easiest ways to grow your follower list is to follow other people. Try looking at the follower list of some of your competitors in your town. Or you can try a popular insurance-related account such as Insurance Journal. Simply open up their follower list and start following. You'll quickly start seeing that many of the accounts will start following you back, not all of them, but a good chunk. And the last social media channel we'll discuss is Yelp. I'm sure you're more than familiar with Yelp. Perhaps you've written a review yourself, or perhaps you've had to deal with a reviewer on your account. Whatever the case, it's important to maintain and manage your presence on Yelp because it still remains one of the first places consumers turn to before making a purchasing decision. Make sure your Yelp page includes the following: business contact information, hours, pictures, map, and specialties. In terms of specialties, Yelp allows you to choose up to 3 categories. If you offer services beyond insurance, make sure you add those subcategories to your Yelp page to make it easier for you to be discovered in search. Yelp is also a place where your audience tends to be more vocal. Typically, people will only write reviews when they've had extremely positive experiences or an extremely negative one. To combat those negative reviews, use the tips we discussed earlier about Facebook. Humanize the interaction by using the reviewer's first name in your message. Show empathy. And trying to understand the issue by coming from a curious place. And kill them with kindness. It's okay to have some negative reviews on your page. As long as you respond to issues with composure and tact, then people will respect your business more. In a perfect world, you have all the time and resources to engage with your audience on all online platforms. But the reality is that you're probably really busy. Be purposeful about the channel where you decide to interact with customers, and utilize our publishing frequency tips to make sure you make a lasting impression.